times, actors get carried away by their role, that they decide to go off script. And if the director liked it, the scene might actually make the final cut. In fact, sometimes these unscripted movie scenes were redone just to get the perfect angle. So here are the top 10 improvised Marvel movie scenes you thought were real. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Thor hanging his hammer. If you watched Thor: The Dark World, then you definitely remember this scene when Thor goes and hangs the hammer on one of the coat racks in the house. Well, there's a little backstory behind this. You see, Chris Hemsworth was playing with Mjolnir behind the scenes, and he thought of a funny little joke. He thought of hanging his hammer on the coat hook when they started filming. Because the entire show wanted to bring a little more of Chris Hemsworth's personal humor to the character, they kept the scene in the final cut. And you know what? We're glad they decided to do this. It's a classic.
The whole world is going crazy. All the stuff we saw is spreading.
Haley Atwell just wanted to see if they're real. When Steve Rogers got out of that experimental chamber, to say that he was buff would be an understatement. This man has pecs even girls were jealous of. And who can blame Peggy Carter for wanting to cop a feel? Haley Atwell admitted that she wanted to see how it feels to touch such a fine breast. God, that sounds so creepy. But hey, it's the truth. She was close, she touched them, and then the director told her to do a few more takes of the same scene because he wanted the perfect shot.
You look taller.
Hawkeye wanting to shoot Quicksilver. Remember that scene where he aims straight at Quicksilver's head and goes on this little rant? Nobody would know, nobody. The last time I saw him, an Ultron was sitting on him. Yeah, he'll be missed, that quick little bastard. I miss him already. This guy was actually practicing his alibi for the murder. All of this was improv. That entire sequence was improv. What the hell, Renner? Did you lend Aaron $20 and now he hasn't given it back to you? Or did you get a little too carried away with the role there? Huh, buddy?
Nobody would know. Nobody.
Thor's childhood snake story. Here's another actor that got a little too much into method acting. I mean, Chris Hemsworth managed to fabricate an entire childhood story about Thor and Loki. During Thor Ragnarok, Thor tells Bruce Banner and Valkyrie that when they were kids, Loki turned himself into a snake. When Thor went to pick up the snake, Loki turned back into his original form and he stabbed him in the stomach. We don't know what Norse mythology he was getting his facts from, but that's not what Loki does to Thor at the age of 8. But it was funny as hell, we'll give him that.
Admired, and he transformed back into himself and he was like, yeah, it's me, and he stabbed me.
Move your leg. This is how Robert Downey Jr. really is in Captain America: Civil War. We see Peter Parker talking to Tony Stark about why he chose to be a hero and protect the powerless. And there, just as Tony was about to sit on the bed beside him, but Tom's leg was in the way. He turned to Tom Holland and just said, I'm going to sit here, so you move the leg. Because he did it with such conviction, it looked normal. So the director decided to leave it in the movie. But no, that line was not in the original script, if that's what you were wondering.
I'm gonna sit here so you move the leg.
Why is Gamora? Remember the scene where Drax and Star-Lord attack Tony Stark, Strange, and Spider-Man? Well, if you think a little harder, you will remember that Star-Lord asked them, I'm going to ask you this one time, where is Gamora? To which Tony replied, I'll do you one better. Who is Gamora? And then, out of nowhere, Drax says, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? That's when we lost it. This is the perfect proof of why Dave's character is not sociable. But anyway, because it was funny as hell, screenwriter Christopher Marcus just said, okay, you're very good at your job. And they kept the line.
Better. Who's Gamora? I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Mbaku's grunts weren't in the script. If you don't remember who Mbaku is, let us refresh your memory. Remember when T'Challa was defeated in combat? Well, then you have to remember where they found him. In Mbaku's camp. The team went there to seek help and overthrow the new king. But you see, when Martin Freeman's character tried to speak, he was quieted down with a lot of grunts and screams. Winston Duke later admitted that he decided to make gorilla noises because that's what a powerful character like Mbaku would do to assert his dominance. He wouldn't say silence. He would grunt, scream, and drive his tribe into a frenzy, just like gorillas would do. The Spidey hug was improvised. This is what happens when you put RDJ and Tom Holland in the same scene. They had one improvised moment, but there were more than just one. This is the scene where Tony Stark is giving Peter Parker a ride. Just before sending him off, he leans over him to open the door for him to get out. Tom Holland admitted that he thought it would be cool if he went in and hugged RDJ's character, but keeping true to Tony Stark, RDJ immediately shot back with, "Oh, I'm not trying to hug you. I'm just trying to get the door."
That's not a hug, I'm just grabbing the door for you. We're not there yet.
He's a friend from work. The actors were so good at their job that they had no problem going off script, and it actually turned out better. For example, when Thor meets Hulk in the arena, he turns to the VIP section and says, "We know each other. He's a friend from work." But there's a cute little backstory behind this. You see, they brought a kid from the Make-A-Wish Foundation on the set, and the little boy said to him, "You know, you should say he's a friend from work." The actors loved it. The directors loved it. The screenwriters did so too. Now, guess if it made it to the final cut.
Hey! We know each other! He's a friend from work!
Don't want to go. One of the saddest movie endings has to be the one in Avengers Infinity War. After Thanos snaps his fingers, half the life in the universe perished, and Peter Parker was one of them. As he clung onto Tony Stark, he kept saying, "I don't want to go." Later, it was revealed that the screenwriter gave him the freedom to say anything he felt would bring the most emotion to the scene. So he went with that line. Now, because this isn't the most courageous of the lines out there, one of his co-stars gave him a pretty tough time during one interview. He kept messing with him and saying how he's crying in all the movies he does.
It's on me. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
On a related note, because he's all-powerful, could God lift Thor's hammer? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.